9 things a man should never do with a woman. Stoicism, modern stoic. The path to true strength lies not in force, but in restraint. He who is brave is not he who does not fear, but he who conquers that fear. Seneca. A man who practices stoicism knows that the key to mastering relationships is not in bending others to his will, but in mastering himself. True power is not flaunted. It is quiet, measured, and rooted in unshakable principles. Stoicism teaches us that a man's value is found in his composure, his wisdom, and his ability to maintain honor, no matter the circumstances. In the realm of love and relationships, too many men forfeit their dignity in pursuit of fleeting desires. But a real man, one who understands Stoic wisdom, never sacrifices his values for temporary gratification. This isn't about being nice or polite. It's about embodying the strength of character that commands admiration. In this video, we're discussing the key actions a man should avoid, not because they're harmful to others, but because they undermine the very essence of his own integrity. If you seek to become the man who exudes respect and leaves a lasting impression, then pay attention. This may change your understanding of love and honor forever. 1. Don't share your problems with a woman. Many men believe that being open about their vulnerabilities will make a woman more attracted to them, but that couldn't be further from the truth. A woman, especially one of high value, is looking for a man who can carry himself with confidence, someone who possesses the strength to protect her and handle life's challenges with resilience. She doesn't want a man who is constantly seeking comfort or reassurance because he can't seem to manage his own problems. Women, by nature, are hypergamous, meaning they are always looking for the best possible partner, one who stands out above the crowd. When a woman presses you to open up about your struggles, remember this: she's testing you, testing to see if you're one of many men who seeks her attention, or if you're truly someone who stands apart from the rest. She'll assess whether you are capable of leading your own life and making decisions with strength, or whether you are just another man drowning in his own problems. A woman doesn't find weakness attractive. She finds strength, confidence, and the ability to overcome adversity appealing. Instead of confiding in her about every little issue, choose to handle your problems on your own. Maintain your composure. Let her see that you can manage life's challenges without crumbling under pressure. When you do share your story, it should be after you've already handled the situation, not while you're in the middle of it. That's the true mark of a man who has control over his life. When you return to her, tell her how you overcome your difficulties and show her the results of your actions. That's the difference between a boy and a man. The boy seeks sympathy. The man seeks solutions. If you need to talk about your struggles, find a fellow man, someone who understands the weight of your burden and can offer advice or guidance. Don't burden her with your emotional weight. Instead, let her see your actions speak for themselves. Let her see the results of your strength and resilience. This is what builds trust and respect in a relationship. This is how you make her see you as someone who is dependable and capable, someone she can rely on when life throws its challenges her way. So here's the rule. Never reveal your problems before you've solved them. Be the man who shows strength in adversity. Let her see the man who rises above his struggles, not the one who seeks comfort in the midst of them. Show her that you're not only capable of handling life's pressures, but that you are someone she can look up to. And that, my friend, is what truly attracts her. 2. Don't agree with everything she says or accept all her offers. Agreeing with everything she says makes you seem like someone who can't think for himself. When you constantly agree with everything she says or do everything she asks, you start to appear as someone who has no thoughts or desires of their own, someone who just exists to please her. And while this might seem harmless in the beginning, women can easily pick up on this weakness. The result: you'll soon find yourself slipping into the dreaded friend zone. She won't see you as a potential partner, but rather as a dependable option for whatever she needs, whether it's a ride to the club, running errands, or just filling in the gaps in her schedule. At this point, you've become her go-to convenience, always around when she needs something but never truly appreciated. And that's where the problem lies. The real test comes when she asks for a favor, and instead of saying yes without hesitation, you need to step back and say no. Even if you can help, even if it seems like the polite thing to do, you have to show her that your time and energy aren't just hers for the taking. You have your own life, your own boundaries, and most importantly, your own value. If you weren't around to fulfill her request, she would eventually find another way to solve the problem herself. By saying no, you demonstrate strength, self-respect, and independence. These are the qualities that make a man stand out, the ones that make her truly value your presence. Don't make the mistake of letting her take you for granted. Instead, make it clear that you're not just a backup plan, and that your time is not something to be spent only on her convenience. When you do this, you'll command her respect, and your presence will hold far more weight in her eyes. Don't fail this test. Be the man who knows when to say no, and she'll remember you for it. And if you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I am the man who holds the power. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, silence isn't distance. It's discipline. 3. Don't rush into becoming her boyfriend. Don't rush into becoming her boyfriend. A modern Stoic man values wisdom over impulse, clarity over emotion, and patience over passion. One of the gravest mistakes a man can make is jumping headfirst into commitment during the emotional high of the honeymoon phase. Everything feels magnetic at the start. Her smile lights up your world. Her words seem profound, and the chemistry feels undeniable. But that early spark is often a product of novelty and fantasy, not reality. You haven't truly met her yet. You've only met her highlight reel. This is why it's essential to wait at least 6 months before making any serious commitments. Time is your greatest ally in revealing truth. Observe how she treats people when she's under pressure. See how she responds when things don't go her way. Pay attention to how consistent her values are and whether her words align with her actions. In 6 months, the curtain drops and the real play begins. Her true character starts to show. And here's the truth. If a woman is right for you, she'll still be there after 6 months. There's no need to lock yourself into something prematurely and later suffer the consequences of a decision made in haste. While you're observing her, keep your options open and your emotions grounded. This is not about being distant or disloyal. It's about being deliberate. A modern Stoic man does not build a house on shaky ground. He tests the soil first. In today's fast-paced, swipe-left culture, patience is a rare virtue, but that's exactly what sets you apart as a high-value man. You don't chase the wind, you move with purpose. So give the relationship time to unfold naturally. If it's meant to last, it will. But if it crumbles before 6 months, you've saved yourself years of regret. Let time filter out the illusion and reveal what's real. 4. Never over-apologize. Never over-apologize. This might sound unexpected, but many men fall into the trap of over-apologizing, even when they haven't done anything wrong. Apologizing excessively can undermine your confidence, making you appear weak or overly needy. It's crucial to remember that a man of Stoic wisdom understands that his actions speak louder than his words. Instead of defaulting to a quick apology, there are better ways to respond that showcase strength, composure, and respect. For example, if you're late, there's no need to rush in with a flurry of apologies. Instead, calmly say, "Thanks for waiting," and proceed as if nothing is wrong. Being late doesn't define your value or diminish your worth. It's a mere inconvenience, nothing more. A true Stoic remains centered, no matter the circumstances, and shows that minor setbacks do not shake his sense of self or control over his actions. Similarly, if you make a mistake, resist the urge to apologize immediately. Instead, acknowledge her perspective with a thoughtful, "I understand what you're saying." Take time to process the situation and her feelings, showing that you're considerate and reflective, not impulsive or reactive. This approach demonstrates emotional control and the ability to think before responding, an essential trait of a high-value man. Remember, he who is not a slave to his own emotions will always find peace within. It's the hallmark of the Stoic: to pause, to think, and to act with purpose, not haste. When you mess up, avoid the typical apology that feels like an immediate surrender. Instead, say, "I'll do better next time," showing that you acknowledge the mistake but are focused on growth. This response not only demonstrates maturity, but reinforces the fact that you are confident, self-aware, and always striving for improvement. You do not dwell on the mistake. You learn from it and move forward. As Epictetus wisely stated, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This is not just about material wealth. This is about emotional wealth. The man who can control his emotions and responses in any situation, especially when faced with mistakes, is the true master of his fate. So, the next time you're faced with a situation that might call for an apology, remember this: you are a man of discipline and integrity, not ruled by knee-jerk reactions. Stand tall in your thoughts, be mindful in your responses, and always take the time to reflect before acting. By doing so, you will not only gain respect, but also enhance your own sense of self-worth. Be the mountain, not the leaf. If this message hits you in the gut like it should, drop a comment below saying, "I am the mountain, not the leaf." Like this video, subscribe for more powerful Stoic wisdom, and remember, your presence speaks louder than your apologies ever could. If you found this message powerful, like the video, share it with a man who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more unshakable Stoic wisdom. Your mindset shapes your reality. Own it with strength. Comment to lock it in. I am the mountain, not the leaf. Let the world know you move with purpose, not panic. 5. Don't confuse her kindness with flirting. Women are naturally empathetic, and their kindness isn't always romantic. It's important to understand that women, by nature, are empathetic and caring. This deep sense of kindness is often misunderstood as romantic interest, but it's not always the case. Many men, blinded by their desire or longing, confuse simple acts of politeness with flirtation, when in reality, the difference can be subtle but significant. Let's use the analogy of a dance. In a proper dance, both partners move in rhythm, responding to each other's cues and steps. If she's only following your lead, without ever adding her own unique movements, it's like dancing alone. She may be kind, but she's not truly engaged in a way that indicates romantic interest. She's simply being courteous, nothing more. On the other hand, when she mirrors your steps, offering responses, asking questions, and contributing to the flow of the conversation, that's when you know the dance is mutual. It's a clear sign that she's genuinely interested in you, not just being polite. So don't be fooled by empty pleasantries. Pay attention to the dynamics of your interactions and be wise enough to recognize when her kindness is just that, kindness, and when it's something more. 6. Don't pretend to be smarter than you are. Never pretend to be smarter than you are. That's one of the most subtle but damaging mistakes a man can make when dealing with a woman. In moments when you don't know something, don't fall into the trap of bluffing your way through just to save face or impress her. Too many men, especially those who've reached a certain level in life, feel pressure to always have the answers. But ironically, this habit often backfires, and instead of looking wise, they appear insecure and less intelligent. Women are intuitive. They can sense when someone is trying too hard to impress or fake knowledge. What truly sets a man apart, especially a modern Stoic, is his ability to say with confidence and calm, "I don't know." That simple sentence speaks volumes about your self-assurance and intellectual humility, and when you take it one step further and say, "Can you explain it to me?" you invite connection, curiosity, and show you're open to learning, qualities far more attractive than arrogance. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone's trying to look smarter than the next person online or in real life, being honest and grounded stands out more than ever. So the next time you're unsure, choose the path of authenticity over pretense. It's not about being flawless, but about being real, and that's what draws respect and attraction. This is just one of 8 key principles every man should master to improve his connection with women, not by playing games, but by becoming the strongest, most authentic version of himself. If this advice hits home, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, subscribe for more powerful Stoic insights, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. And I'd love to hear from you. Which part spoke to you the most, and what other topics should we dive into? Let's keep growing together. 7. Avoid using offensive language around her. Avoid using offensive language around her, not because you're trying to put on a mask, but because your words are a reflection of your inner discipline and emotional intelligence. In the eyes of a woman, especially one of depth and self-respect, a man's choice of words says more than his status or wealth ever could. While it's true that swearing isn't a measure of intelligence, constant vulgarity can suggest a lack of self-control and awareness, both of which are key attributes in the life of a modern Stoic. Remember what Epictetus said. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you want to be a man of respect, composure, and strength, then speak like one. Occasional mild language may slip through without damage, but when harsh words dominate your speech, they corrode your image. In real life, think of how leaders, mentors, or even respected elders speak. Rarely do they rely on profanity to make their point. Their power is in their calm, not their volume or vulgarity. A woman subconsciously pays attention to how you speak because it signals how you might treat her under stress. Do you lash out, or do you stay composed? That's where true attraction is built. And if you're aiming to live by Stoic principles, being unshaken, measured, and master of your emotions, then controlling your tongue is not a small matter. It's a declaration of who you've chosen to become. So speak with purpose, not impulse, and let your words elevate, not diminish, your presence. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. What are your thoughts, brothers? Drop them in the comments. I want to hear how you've handled situations where your words made all the difference. 8. Don't buy her affection. Never, and I mean never, buy a woman's affection. Understand this. Genuine love, respect, and loyalty are not things you can purchase. They must be earned, and they come from who you are, not what you offer. A man of true value, one rooted in Stoic principles, knows that his worth lies in his character and his presence, not in his ability to buy affection. When you lead with material wealth, when you try to win her over with lavish gifts, fancy dinners, or extravagant trips, you are subconsciously telling her that you don't believe you're enough. That belief will break you down over time. It weakens your core, erodes your sense of self-worth, and hands her the power to define your identity. Remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If she stays for what you give, she's not there for you, she's there for your possessions. And when those run dry, so will she. That's not love, that's manipulation. Material gifts may create fleeting pleasure, but they won't create lasting connection. They may win moments, but they won't win respect. Eventually, you'll question, would she even be here if I had nothing left to offer? A man who constantly uses material things to win affection isn't generous, he's insecure. And insecurity? It's an instant red flag. A woman who truly values you will see through that act. She will test you, and if you're not grounded in your true self, she'll walk away. Lead with your strength, your wisdom, your emotional fortitude. Let your presence speak for you. The man who knows his worth doesn't need to prove it. He simply lives it. So remember, you are the prize. Start acting like it. If this resonates with you, drop a comment saying, I will never buy affection again. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're ready to stand firm in your value and lead with confidence, not desperation. 9. Never lose your boundaries. The foundation of every truly powerful man lies in his boundaries. A man who understands his own worth knows that his time, energy, and emotions are invaluable. A true Stoic doesn't let his desires or impulses dictate his actions. He acts with intention and control. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your integrity and personal peace. And when a woman sees that you uphold these lines, she will respect you more. But when you let these boundaries erode, when you constantly bend to accommodate her needs without regard for your own, you are telling the world that you don't value yourself. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about having the self-awareness to know when to say no without feeling guilty. Boundaries are not about rejecting others, but about preserving your core, your time, and your energy. To be a man of strength, you must respect yourself first. When you start compromising your principles and bending over backward to please others, you lose not only your self-respect, but the respect of others as well. This is something every Stoic understands. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By setting firm, clear boundaries, you are reinforcing your self-worth, keeping your energy in balance, and fostering healthy, reciprocal relationships. Understand this. The greatest wealth is to live content with little, as Socrates taught. Your boundaries protect this wealth. They guard your emotional reserves, allowing you to operate from a place of strength and calm. A man who doesn't allow his energy to be drained by the constant demands of others can focus on his true priorities, his mission, his vision, and his values. When you assert your boundaries, you are not rejecting others, but ensuring that you remain true to yourself. The woman who truly values you will recognize and admire your ability to maintain your integrity. If this resonates with you, I challenge you to comment below with the phrase, I protect my boundaries. Like this video, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Stay true to yourself, and the right people will respect you for it. Bonus tip, never lose your identity in the process. Never, under any circumstance, abandon your identity to win the favor of a woman. That is not strength, that is surrender. In this modern world full of noise and confusion, where men are told to bend, adapt, and please just to be chosen, the true Stoic man stands tall, immovable like a mountain. He does not shape-shift into someone else's fantasy. He does not dilute his mission or soften his edge to avoid rejection. The moment you start changing to fit her expectations is the moment you begin to disappear. What you build in that space is not love, it's theater. And you become an actor wearing a mask that will, one day, fall off. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That is your directive. Own your standards. Speak your truth. Guard your boundaries like a lion guards his territory. You don't need her approval. You command respect by being ruthlessly authentic. Some women will be intimidated by your clarity. Some will walk away. And that's a blessing in disguise. Because the right woman is not looking for a puppet. She's looking for a pillar. Remember this. A man who stands in his truth never begs to be seen. He becomes impossible to ignore. So be that man. And if you're ready to reclaim your power and never lose yourself again, comment below. I lead with strength, not approval. Like, subscribe, and share this with a man who needs to wake up. It all starts with self-respect, the core of every rule a man should live by when dealing with women. When you value your time, energy, and worth, the right woman will notice and respect you. You don't need to be perfect, just real, grounded, and unshaken. That quiet confidence is what makes a man irresistible. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So here are 8 things a man should never do with a woman. Don't overshare your problems. It weakens your presence. Don't blindly agree with her. Respect comes from standing your ground. Don't rush into commitment. Real love takes time. Don't buy her love. It cheapens real connection. Don't mistake kindness for desire. Stay sharp. Don't over-apologize. It signals insecurity. Don't curse like a sailor. Speak with intention. Don't fake intelligence. Be honest and willing to grow. And above all, never lose yourself in trying to please her. As Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. If this hits home, drop a comment below and share your story. Like, subscribe, and send this to a brother who needs it. Stay sharp, stay grounded, stay true.